Hi. Today I wanted to talk to you about getting the right phrases for EFT tapping. Now, getting the right phrases can be pretty tricky because there are certain things that are wrong with people that they don't necessarily know how to verbalize. You can verbalize, if you have a stomach ache, if you're tapping, you rub the sore spot, even though I have the stomach ache 3 times and you do the tapping round, that's fairly easy. Same with a headache or any sort of obvious problem. But then there can be some issues that you may have in life, and I find the most important issues to be the ones that you may not necessarily be able to verbalize, and they could be things holdovers from childhood or past events that you've forgotten about. And a good way to find the right phrases is really in everyday language. Everyday language in conversation contains the blueprint that you need to effectively do EFT. As an example, let's say you have a problem with your boss at work and you're explaining to your girlfriend or boyfriend or brother or whoever about this boss, and you may go through an entire story about this person. And contained in that story, if you pay attention to the way you talk, there will be plenty of EFT phrases. You may say, "My boss, he just doesn't understand me." Boom, that's an EFT phrase. Even though my boss doesn't understand me, tap through that. You may say, it's just, he makes me do so much work, he doesn't pay any attention to me. Boom, EFT phrase. Even though my boss doesn't pay attention to me, tap through it. And there may also be some other things in that conversation that come up that don't have a lot to do with your boss. They may have to do with more what I like to call global phrases versus personal phrases. Personal phrases, even though I can't stand my boss, even though my boss never pays attention to me, very very me centered. Global phrases are more beliefs that are really actually I believe to be the more important phrases to tap on. Like in that conversation, you may say, "My boss, doesn't understand me," yada yada yada, and then your friend may actually give you a great phrase. He may say, "Well, something like authority is a problem, or authority is dominant, or people in authority like to take advantage of others." That's a great EFT phrase. People in authority like to take advantage of others, even though people of authority like to take advantage of others. That's a global phrase. That's a phrase that is not personal. It's a belief that you may have picked up from somewhere. It's a belief you may pick up right then talking to your friend. The thing about these global phrases is it's almost like a shotgun wound, right? Shotgun wound is pretty bad, and if you get shot with a shotgun, it's a life-threatening injury. And what you don't want to do is put a Band-Aid over it. Now, if you say, let's say you have a problem with authority or something, and you do that personal tapping, even though I hate my boss, even though my boss is so hard on me, effectively what you're doing, you're tapping on the immediate problem, and it may, dissipate for a while, but you're effectively putting a Band-Aid over a shotgun wound. It's not going to hold. Okay, so what you may find is, what you probably will find is that not only does the problem with your boss not go away, or may go away for a little bit, but you'll find that it'll come back if you get, most people don't hold one job for the rest of their lives. They have multiple jobs. So you get to the next job, that next boss is probably going to piss you off. So what you should have done is really gotten rid of your belief about authority rather than that particular boss that you had a problem with. That's why I like global phrases, because they get to the root of the problem. Instead of putting a Band-Aid in a shotgun wound, you can, basically get the bullet, get the shell out, get all that stuff out, patch it up properly so you can heal. So if you say, for instance, instead of, "Even though my boss pisses me off," you can say more global phrase like, and you can not only get this from a conversation with your friend, but you can think of things. This is great about EFT. You can be creative with it, and you'll have to do some digging. You'll have to do some thinking, but you can do it. I do it all the time. You can say, get creative. Authority is a thorn in my side. Even though authority is a thorn in my side. Tap, tap, tap. You could say, and there's no wrong, it's like cleaning a clean room. If you don't hit the right phrase, there's no consequence. You're cleaning a clean room. The objective is to get to the root of the problem, even though you may have to go through a process of multiple phrases that may not necessarily be the right phrase, but you're on the right track. Your mind will lead you there. So you say, authority, something like, authority does not get along well with others. Or you can say, authority's goal is to make people miserable. Those are global phrases. Those are core beliefs that you want to get rid of, rather than the immediate personal beliefs, which is like putting a band-aid on a shotgun wound. And you can get these from conversations with people. I would suggest you really start paying attention to the way you talk. People usually don't pay attention to the way they talk, and then what you're saying is usually coming out of the subconscious, and the subconscious, there are put lots of clues in there to the roots of certain problems that you have. If you notice, you'll complain about things a lot. People complain about the same things day in and day out, but they never do anything about it. Now, if you really want to get rid of that problem and stop running into that problem, you really want to be free, you need to find those root causes. Think about the problem. Think about who you have a problem with. Okay, is your mother? Okay. Instead of I hate my mother, it's moms are hard on their children. Tap, tap, tap. A mom's function is to be hard on her children. A mom's function is to complain. There's no wrong phrase. You may not hit the right phrase, but if you just come up with the phrases, and you're on the right track, and you'll get there eventually, and you'll get good at it. It took me a little while, but I got good at coming up with these phrases. And another great way that you can come up with these phrases without having to have a conversation with someone else or yourself. A lot of these phrases come out of conversations you'll have in your head. Is to do the 9 gamut. This is something that I haven't talked about before, but the 9 gamut in EFT, when you do a round, what I like to do to have a little bit more effective tapping on that issue, and to also trigger your mind to come up with more phrases that are buried in the subconscious, is what you do is, let's say, you do a round of EFT, a full round, and then you're going to actually tap on this point between the pinky and the ring finger, right on the fleshy point here. Okay, right there in the middle of the fleshy point. And you can also go on, you can Google 9 gamut, 9 G-A-M-U-T, 9 gamut, and find out where that spot is, and you tap on it. And while you're tapping on it, you're going to close your eyes, open them, send your eyes hard down to the right, send your eyes hard down to the left, send your eyes clockwise or counterclockwise in a circle, and then the other way in a circle. Then you're going to hum. You can hum Happy Birthday. You can hum any song you want. Then you're going to count to 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then you're going to hum again. And then you're going to do that. You're going to do another round of tapping on that previous phrase. Okay, so you're going to do a round of tapping. You do the 9 gamut, and then you do another round of tapping on that same phrase. And then what's going to happen, what usually I find that happens is that it's a little bit more effective in getting rid of that problem. And also you'll find other things, other phrases start to come up that are a part of that root problem. It may not even come as a phrase. It may come as an image. It may come as a sound. It may come as a song that pops into your head. It may come as a movie image that pops into your head. And that's where you really have to put your detective hat on. And say, okay, where's this coming from? Let's say, you get a song like a Katy Perry song or a Tupac song. Think about that song. Think about what the lyrics are that you heard, and then try and trace those steps back to what could be caused. What is this? What does this have to do with my problem? And it's a wonderful way to find the root causes. And once you get rid of the root cause, that problem completely disappears, and they'll never bother you again. So those are some ways you come up with some more effective phrases for EFT, for tapping, because the phrases are the most important thing. They really are. You really have to get the right phrase. Even on a problem like a headache, you may have to play with several phrases. You know, you can say, even though I have this headache, tap, 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 but it may not go away. You may have to say, even though this headache that I feel on the right side of my temple is killing me. You know, that's a different phrase, okay, and that may be more effective. So we're getting the right phrases. It's paramount, really. You really need to work at it, and it's not that difficult. You know, it's you know, I do it all day long. Just think of a problem, and then you can spitball ideas, phrases that may be a part of that, causing that problem. You know, just be creative. There's no set limit to what you can do, what phrases you can come up with, and eventually, boom, you'll hit that right phrase. And what I'm going to do also is later on is symptoms. Sometimes you may find you get some symptoms when you do some tapping that may bother you. I'm here to tell you that it's nothing to worry about. But I'm going to do a video on that later. So tune in. Thanks. Bye.